Hey guys, Mixed Media Girl here. So today we're going to be doing this really fun mirror project. So I'm just going to explain my setup really quick. So first of all, I have this Lazy Susan here. Underneath I have a silicone mat. These are great for using under a Lazy Susan because the Lazy Susan doesn't move around on it. You don't need to tape it down or anything. Plus the runoff will go onto this mat and it's easy to peel off then, and you can use it on different projects. On top of the Lazy Susan I have a shower cap to help keep it clean. And you can probably see I have a couple little points of tape under there just to hold the shower cap on. This is a 14-inch round mirror, and I went ahead and taped off a circle in the middle where my canvas is going to go. And I just did that by putting a bunch of tape on my cutting mat and then cutting out the shape. Very simple. So one thing I have attention on here is being able to spin this. So I'm going to go ahead and actually tape a couple sticks onto the back just so I have kind of handles to spin this with. And then this is very heavy, so it's probably not going to move around, but I'm still going to tape my Lazy Susan down onto it. I'm doing it upside down so I can more or less center it. And I just use double-sided sticky tape. I use the thick foam kind, usually from the dollar store. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and just put a pretty thick piece in between these two sticks, and I think that should do it. Like I said, the mirror itself is quite heavy, so I don't anticipate it actually moving around anyways, but that should help. And now I have sticks with which to spin it. All right, now before we actually start painting, you can probably see there's all kinds of fingerprints and oils and dusts and whatever. Before you paint any kind of glass, you always want to clean it. I use alcohol, rubbing alcohol, but you can go ahead and use just soap and water if you need to. And I just like the alcohol because it evaporates quickly. And it's definitely kind of guaranteed to get everything off. Going all the way up to my tape line there carefully though. Now just as a note, while this circular tape is pretty good, it's definitely not perfect. It's not going to be a perfect edge. I don't mind that personally. If you do, then of course just take the time to get a perfect edge there, and it will probably seep a little bit underneath it. I'm going to do one thing to kind of offset that, which I'll show you in a second. Make sure my edges are stuck down as much as possible. Okay, so to offset any leaking underneath, I'm going to just take some regular white acrylic paint. Doesn't have to be white. White just going to be a good base color for the colors I'm using. And I'm going to paint along the edge of this tape. And that will help create kind of a seal there. You can go ahead and prime the entire mirror if you want. I'm just going to pretty much do the edge here. Making sure that tape is as much down as possible. I did have to kind of recenter it a couple times so it's not as sticky as I would want. I'm sure with some practice it'll get better. All right, now while that paint is drying, which should be pretty fast, I'm going to go ahead and fill up my paint. I'm using a Lowly Vefe silicone bowl. The link will be in the description. And I'm using all Mixed Media Girl paints. So I've got white, meadow green. Let's go ahead with some Everglade green, which is a darker one. And then a few blues I'm going to put in here. So this is Caribbean teal, primary blue, and then deep sea. And I'm also going to be using gold because it's my favorite. And then I'm going to put a pop of this electric lime, one of my favorite colors, especially with that deep sea. I think they look great together. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep layering these until my bowl is full. I think that should be plenty. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the canvas on here. And so that the canvas doesn't fly off, I'll go ahead and tape that down as well. I'm going to take a couple pieces, small pieces of the double-sided tape. It's actually best to do this before you put gloves on, but that's okay, just because it's a little difficult. There we go. And then I'm going to try to center it on my tape as much as possible. Awesome. Now that should all pretty well stay together. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this on here. And I am going to do a tree ring, I believe. Maybe I'll do kind of a mixture here. I'll do a bit of a tree ring and then a straight pour. Tree ring. And then a straight pour. Awesome. So you can already see it's running over the side there. I'm actually going to let it sit for a few minutes and let it run, and then we will go ahead and do the spinning. All right, so this has run off on all sides, and you can probably see it's a little bit lopsided in terms of pouring. That's okay. So here we go. That just means it's going to come off one side faster than the others. Okay. Now I just want to point out one thing, which is that every time I spin it, basically the paint moves off the canvas in waves. So you're not going to see, unless you use a lot of paint, you're not going to see the pattern perfectly continuing off onto the mirror, which is totally fine with me. But just in case anyone was kind of a little confused as to how we're getting this kind of wavy pattern on here, I'm going to spin it, I think, one more time, and then I think we'll be good. Awesome. Now here's the tricky part. I don't want to leave the canvas on there, or it can get stuck, and then when I pull it off, it'll be hard to get the paint off. So I have to very carefully kind of extract that. I'm actually going to take a stick. I think this will be the easiest. Take a stick and kind of put it underneath there and lift up. There we go. That did work. Okay. Beautiful canvas. Very excited about that. Now we have this kind of pool of paint here. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and spin it again with the canvas off of it, which actually I do think I'm going to do that one time. But then don't worry, because we're going to be peeling this edge off. So I do think I am going to spin that once. Here we go. Okay. Actually, one more time, sorry. There we go. I think that is so, so cool. You can spin it as many times as you want. It's your project, and of course, use any colors you want on your own project. These are the colors that I like. So at this stage, because you can't see how awesome this is with that tape on there, we're going to let it dry, come back and take the tape off, and we'll see the final product. So I'll see you back probably tomorrow. Okay, we're back. These are both fully dry. Here's the canvas. Not sealed yet, but man, I love it. And here is the mirror. So I still need to take that tape off. Now I have long ago, and then again more recently, learned that you can't just peel this. You want to cut around that tape line or you risk peeling some of that paint off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with a razor, and then we'll get the tape off. All right, so the tape came off quite easily, and then I went ahead and cleaned it. Hi guys. Obviously it's a mirror, so you can see the reflection in it, but check this out. I'm just gonna show you kind of close up on the border here. And I know people are gonna ask how I seal this. So what I'm going to do is wait for it to fully cure, and then I'll go ahead and actually stick this canvas back in here and spray them both at the same time. I generally seal them with Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear enamel spray, so that's what I'll use on this. People sometimes worry about painting on glass, but it's super durable. Like, unless you're gonna come in here with like a razor or something, it's not gonna come off. And then on the back, I'll just go ahead and attach a sawtooth hanger. I attach that with resin. I'll probably put 2 on here because it's a heavier piece. But you could also put it in some kind of a frame. There's multiple ways that you could hang this. So there you guys go. An awesome 2-for-1 project with a beautiful mirror. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Let me know what colors you guys would use. And I'll see you all next time.